Hi. I haven't started a vlog, but like, it is November 6th. Sorry for the dryer, sorry for any background noise. It's snowing right now. It's kind of hard to tell. It's about 35 degrees Fahrenheit right now. And we're getting random drops of snow in our rain. We don't get snow in Eugene very often. This is bizarre. Vlog. I haven't officially started you, although I've got a few clips here and there, but today I got my very first ever library card, and I checked out my very first ever library book. I got the Traveling Cat Chronicles by Hiro Arikawa. Yeah, here's the thing. Austin got 2 books. Honestly, if we had more time, he probably would have gone ham. I did not, because I already have a very full TBR this month, so I tried to keep it down to something like achievable, something I could easily read, something I've been very interested in. I did not expect to see this on the shelf, but we were just kind of browsing and looking, and I was pointing out things to him, and then I saw it and I was like, absolutely, absolutely. So got my first library book ever since probably middle school, because I don't think I really checked out my own personal reading books in high school. I only checked out like class books that we needed. So yeah, very exciting, very fun. So yeah, that was the first part. No, the first part of the day was actually sleeping in until like 12:30. It was great. Last night we stayed up super late. Sorry, the dryer is probably really loud. I will try and keep this quick. We stayed up until like 1:30 last night, because I bought Austin his birthday present, gave it to him early, which is a beast of a game. But yeah, it's like Lord of the Rings D&D, which I was not expecting when I ordered it. I didn't really know what it was going to be. I thought it was just going to be like a standard board game though. No, it's not. It's actually really cool though. So we're having friends come over tonight to play with us, and we're going to have fajitas. Tomorrow, November 14th, is Austin's birthday. What an old man. He's turning 26. So yeah, we're gonna be celebrating kind of tonight with our friends, just hanging out. Went to the library. He's on a walk. It's been pretty chill, but I wanted to start the vlog, say hey, say hi. I will probably talk about the book that I'm reading tomorrow, if I pick it back up tomorrow. I've only read like 50 pages, so you're not missing out on much, but I will discuss that here soon because I have thoughts and I think I'm gonna like it a lot. So yeah, but I think that's it for now. I think that's everything. I will update you guys throughout the week when things happen. I was gonna update you, like film being at the library and checking out the books and stuff, but I honestly, it was so quiet in there, which was to be expected, but it was really busy and quiet, which I didn't really know how to act, and I'm not a very quiet person. So Austin and I were like whispering to each other a lot, and my shoes were super fucking squeaky. And yeah, I just like, new places give me anxiety because I don't know what to expect or how to act. So I kind of just did what I needed to do and tried to be chill whilst there. But I will start taking you guys hopefully along with me. I did sign up for Hoopla and Libby, so I now have access to audiobooks and ebooks through my library, which is amazing because now I might actually like save money. What a concept, I know, but yeah. Okay. Hello, besties. How we doing? It is Wednesday, which November is going way too fast. I'm not okay with it. I don't think, let me verify. I've finished one book, and it wasn't really even a book. I finished one thing so far in the month of November, and like, that's just not it. But that's besides the point. Hopefully we will read something later today. I will talk about it then. But yesterday, November 15th, Tuesday, I worked and then I came home and I did nothing except for edit a video that went up. So there's a spider on my window and or curtain. Anyway, so I've yet to see the Goodreads Choice Award nominees. So I thought I'm not going to make a full video for it because I don't know if I'll have that much to say. We'll see, I guess. But I thought that we could discuss, look at it, talk about it a little bit. I have been spoiled for a few things. I follow Adeline Grace, and I also follow Stephanie Garber on Instagram because I actually really like them as authors and people, so I do follow them for their content. With that said, that means that I've been spoiled and they are nominees, so I now know that. But we're just gonna open it, click, take a look, vote. Oh my god, we're gonna vote. I have not looked at any of these, so let's see. Best in Fiction. No surprise that Hanya Yanagihara, no surprise that she's on this list, seeing as A Little Life is so big, but also, like, I've heard not great things about, what is it, The Paradise? Yeah, To Paradise. I've not heard good things about To Paradise, so interesting. Other Birds by Sarah Addison Allen. I got this with Book of the Month 2 months ago, I think. I've yet to read it. It is magical realism, which is not typically my genre, so I'm a little hesitant, so I've kind of avoided it. But that is good to know. Frederick Bachman, no surprise whatsoever. It is interesting because this is the third book in a series, so, like, diehard fans will vote for it for sure, but it's interesting. Notes on an Execution. I've read this mostly. I still have to finish it, which I'm planning to do this month, but I've read it enough to know the vibes, so that will probably get my vote. Cleopatra and Frankenstein, I've seen, nope, not that one. Cleopatra and Frankenstein, I've seen around quite a lot. Tomorrow 3 times I think it goes by. This was also a Book of the Month pick. I got it as an add-on last month because it is the Book of the Month, Book of the Year winner. So votes for that had already happened and it won just like the overall voting for Book of the Month for the year's book. So I got it because I want to read it. So I won't be surprised at all if that wins. I've also seen True Biz because that was also a Book of the Month book that a lot of people read. I thought that was nonfiction though, but apparently it's not. But yeah, I'm of course going to be voting for Notes on Execution because that's the only one that I've read. But with that said, I think Tomorrow will probably win. Okay, Best in Mystery and Thriller. I'm hoping I've read some of these, maybe a little bit. Okay, so Things We Do in the Dark, I almost read. This was a Book Troop book club pick, which is hosted by Gabby Reeds. Almost read it, didn't. A Flicker in the Dark. Was planning to read this for Booktober, my 31 books in 31 days challenge. Didn't end up doing that. Wrong Place, Wrong Time. I've seen this cover a lot. I didn't know that it was out already, to be honest, so I'm interested in it. I'm gonna mark that as want to read. Killers of a Certain Age. This is a new release that came out this year. Was also a Book of the Month pick, which is about like old retired assassin getting like killed off by their company or whatever. The Maid was really popular for a while, and then I think it kind of died down really fast. So that's interesting. More Than You'll Ever Know I've seen around, but did not hear much buzz on it. I have not read Jackal, but I really want to. I've heard fantastic things. I could see this potentially winning. Alice Feeney, Daisy Darker, no surprise. The Overnight Guest. The Night Shift, I did not know this was published this year for some reason. Maybe I'm getting it confused, like the Night Film or something, but interesting. Okay, no surprise, Ruth Ware the It Girl, no surprise, Lucy Foley, even though that book was kind of trash. I'm surprised that Simone St. James, The Book of Cold Cases, is here. I know this was pretty big, but like compared to her other works, she's a pretty big author though. Like the name speaks volumes. And The Golden Couple. This was also a Book of the Month pick earlier this year. Kind of forgot that. Wow, lots of ratings though. This is like a duo author combo that work together quite often, but my vote will be for The It Girl by Ruth Ware. Not only because it's like basically the only one of these that I've read, which is really surprising. Like Riley Sager didn't make it on here. I'm very glad that Peter Swanson didn't make it on here with 9 Lives, but I'm also still surprised because those are 2 very large names. Moving on. Historical fiction. I don't really read historical fiction. I'm not going to have a lot to say on this, but The Magnolia Place, I saw this at a thrift store, so I'm surprised. I also, like, this feels like it came out years ago. Peach Blossom Spring, I've seen a lot around, so that would be my suggestion if you're interested in any of these. I almost got Hester from Book of the Month, but I'm just not like a big I've not been in a historical mood lately, so I didn't pick it up. Violetta by Isabel Allende. Love this cover. Wanted to read it. Black Cake. I want this so bad. I think it was it literally Lowe who read this and like loved it? I don't remember, but I really am intrigued in it. I've seen nothing but fantastic things. And the other one I want to talk about is Take My Hand. This is like a newer release. Haven't heard any like reviews on it yet, but it's interesting that it's on this list. I think it was like last month's Book of the Month pick. I'm seeing a trend that a lot of these are Book of the Month books, probably because Book of the Month has such a large, not fan base, but like a lot of people use it, even like non-booktubers, just a lot of book readers use it, unlike many other subscription boxes. So I think it's an interesting correlation that they're so closely tied together. The other one that I know is Young Mungo, and I really want to read this. Like, this is very high on my list. It was on my highly anticipated releases. So let's get into fantasy, because this is where it matters. No surprise, Brandon Sanderson made it on this list, which is interesting seeing as this book came out November 15th. It has somehow a little less than 2,500 ratings, so rather interesting, but all right. Nettle and Bone, I didn't actually have time to get to this, but I've seen it everywhere. This is T. Kingfisher, who is the same author of What Moves the Dead, The Hollow Places, so on, so many things. Anyway, haven't read it, have seen a lot of reviews, heard a lot of good things. No surprise, Stephen King's Fairy Tale is on here. No shock at all. I do want to read it though. I've never read a Stephen King, so it's like, oh. Sarah J. Maas, no surprise. My biggest qualm with the Goodreads Choice Awards, besides the fact that it is very trendy only, there's no more write-ins, which is like, whatever. It's not completely accurate to what people actually like. It's really based off what's being read, what's being funded, basically what the publishers are really pushing. Why do sequels end up in these areas? I don't understand. I don't like it. Anyway, the Atlas 6, which was published in 2020, is here, which I think is really interesting. I don't know why in my head I always thought that the Goodreads nominees were supposed to be releases of this year, because most of them are. So I don't know why the Atlas 6 has made it, but like, it's got a lot of hype. I do want to read it. Legends and Latte, that's so cool. I have not read Legends and Latte yet. I'm planning to this month or December, but I love the fact that this like very newly picked up by a traditional publisher is being published and is now like a nominee. Like, that's so cool. That's amazing. I love that. Thistlefoot I got from Book of the Month last month. Have not had time to read it. That's a reoccurring theme, but I'm so excited. I'm really wanting to read this. It's a debut, which is also really exciting. We love when debuts get acknowledgments. I also own the Book Eaters. I have not haven't read it. It's so surprising, I know, but I've heard a lot of mixed reviews on it, so I'm a little bit surprised. Again, Book of the Month has really just like changed all of these things. Keikai, I believe that's how you say it. I will verify one day, I promise. I've also heard very little reviews from. I bought it with Book of the Month. I'm really excited to read it eventually. It's a bit thicker of a fantasy, so I haven't yet, but it's only got 12,000 ratings compared to others. Like, it's fairly small. But yeah, I haven't heard a lot, but the average rating's pretty good, so that's good. Ordinary Monsters. It's a trilogy. I didn't know it was a trilogy. Okay. Beastie of a book. Haven't read it. It intimidates me so much, but I'm excited for it eventually. Daughter of the Moon Goddess. I really need to read this. I started it. I got 25% through the audiobook and then decided that I really needed to like read the physical book with it or on its own because I was just missing things and I needed to be like more into the world. A River Enchanted was also a Book of the Month pick earlier this year and has been very well received. To no surprise, we have Babel, R.F. Kuang's newest. Also very like mixed reviews. The writing or the ratings good. There's 23,000 of them, which I feel like should be higher, but yeah, a lot of mixed reviews. Not the book for everyone. I have yet to start it. It's still sitting on my like to read. It's that one right there. It terrifies me. The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches, I've heard great things about. I didn't really have a desire to pick it up when I first saw the cover. I really thought it was like more middle grade, but I guess it's more like House in the Cerulean Sea. Not middle grade, but also like focuses around kids kind of. So I definitely see this getting good votes because I feel like it's very trendy, popular, current because we just got out of October, so like spooky season's fresh on people's minds still. And then we have When Women Were Dragons, which I've heard bad reviews of. So I'm actually surprised that this is on here because I haven't heard good things. I believe Kelly Barnhill's the same author who wrote The Girl Who Drank the Moon. Is that right? I don't know. Anyway, Start Off Steve. I also have this sitting on my Book of the Month shelf. I know that Eliza will be picking this because she loves this book, so she's probably very happy to see it. It's an Aladdin fantasy, but I think, although I haven't actually heard, it's only got 9,000 ratings. What an underdog. Book of the Month really decided to control Goodreads this year. I'm a little surprised, I'm not gonna lie. Most of these were Book of the Month books. Rather interesting. I didn't talk about Electra either. This was a new release, I believe, Greek fantasy. And yeah, so out of these, what have I read? Oh, right, none. Okay. I read a lot of fantasy this year and a lot of thrillers and horror, and apparently just like not the right stuff. So I'm not gonna vote on any of these. I try not to vote if I haven't read the books because I just don't want to completely sway the judging that's already swayed and not accurate. I also didn't mention Naomi Novik's, but it's the third in her series, which I just don't like series and this stuff. But a lot of these are on my TBR to read, so I will be interested to see which ones win, what goes into like the next round. So this is the opening nominee round, and then they'll select however many to go on to like the finale round where people can actually vote. And then I believe by like end of December, early January, we will actually get the winners. Best in romance. I didn't really read romance this year. I think I read The Love Hypothesis. Was that last year? No, that was this year. I don't know. My reading all becomes so much the same. But yeah, I haven't really read romance, but I do hear a lot of it. My friends read a lot of romance. No surprise, Colleen Hoover. I think that It Starts With Us is going to be reminders of him, because I haven't really heard of that one very much, but you know, the TikTok girlies are going to go wild for the Colleen Hoover. The roommate experience, the American roommate experience, I will be interested to see where that ranks, just because reviews were fine. Definitely better than the Spanish Love Deception reviews, but interesting. Funny you should ask. I've seen a lot about... I haven't heard a lot of reviews, though. Like, I know a few people that have read it, and they thought it was fine. So, a little surprising. The Kiss Curse is a sequel to the X-Hex, but I think it's like a companion sequel, so, like, it's a little bit better. People love it. It is very loved, but I don't see it winning. I don't see anything winning besides Colleen Hoover, truly. You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty. Kweke Emezi. I had plans to read this summer, and I just couldn't get to it, but I'm interested by it because I've known now that it's a romance, but I didn't originally see it as a romance. I thought it might have been like literary or something, so we'll see how it does. I feel like it's got goodish ratings. Like, it's a 3.72 with 16,000 reviews, so we'll see. No surprise, Ali Hazelwood is on here. I hate that this was considered a sequel by some people when it's super completely separate, just similar in writing, but I haven't read it yet. I thought about buying it. I just couldn't do it. I did enjoy The Love Hypothesis. I really liked it. I gave it 5 stars, thought it was great. Don't know if I would read something so similar, though. We'll see. Might be a while. No surprise, Emily Henry is on here with Book Lovers. I think that this is very popular, very well loved. I think, yeah, has a good chance of also winning if the if the co-host don't go wild for her. I think Book Lovers will be close second. But at the same time, like, it is more literary fiction than it is romance, so I think it's interesting how things get categorized. Terms and Conditions is a sequel, I believe, to the blue one that comes before it, I think. Hook, Line, and Sinker is a companion sequel. Delilah Green Doesn't Care, I've heard good things about, has potential to win in, like, the 3rd or 4th place spot. Probably, like, the 4th place spot, because Ali Hazelwood fans. And Dating Dr. Dill. I've heard so many mixed reviews on this, so I'll be interested to know where that lands. But again, I haven't read any of these. I have interest in reading 2.5 of them. So, don't come to me for romance. But I will leave Daphne's video over Being Daphne. I will leave her video where she talks more about the romance books that were picked, because she actually reads romance, so you're welcome. Okay, best in sci-fi. I know very little about sci-fi, and I don't plan to read most of sci-fi, so let's take a look. Nona the Ninth, I actually have the Fairy Loot edition. No, the Illumicrate edition. It's the 3rd book in the Gideon in the Ninth series, so yeah, again, sequels, but I think it is very well loved. Gideon the Ninth is a very popular series, so... The Locked Tombs is a very popular series. The Daughter of Dr. Moreau by Sylvia Marina Garcia. No surprise that she is on here. She's the author of Mexican Gothic and a few other things as well, but Mexican Gothic, like, really blew up, so no surprise. But also, haven't heard anything about this. I don't think I've seen anyone read it. It's on my list. I actually put it on my highly anticipated reads, but I just didn't get to it because it wasn't, like, high priority. But I am surprised that it was nominated. I think if anything's gonna win in this, it's going to be Sea of Tranquility or Blake Crouch's Upgrade, even though Upgrade had a lot of mixed reviews. It wasn't very well loved like his other books. Haven't heard of any others of these. How High We Go in the Dark. I have heard of this. It makes people cry. I thought it was like a, yeah, potentially anthology sci-fi where like the stories are connected. I'm not sure. But Carrie can read over Carrie can read, Carrie Cakes, whichever channel you watch. She said it was really sad. She almost cried, or did cry. I think almost cried. And Dead Silence by S.A. Barnes. I actually have this on my shelves to be read very soon for a video. So maybe I will read it before the nominees are done and I can vote for it maybe. We'll see. But yeah, I haven't read any of these. I haven't heard of most of these. I think the covers are very interesting. They're all so different. But I like the color palettes that are running through. Very like purpley, pinky, orange, and blues and blah, blah, blah. Literally all the colors. It's crazy. Okay, best in horror. Here's where I'm hoping to thrive, but I'm scared. I just bought White Horse. I'll be reading that this month. Sundial, I did not know was being released, but this is the same author of Last House on Needless Street, which I'm reading soon. House of Hunger is the Literally Dead book club pick for November, so you know I'll be reading it, but I haven't yet. Jupiter and Thorns. This one I thought was fantasy, and it has had some interesting reviews. It's only got 3,800 reviews. I'm a bookkeeper, don't worry about it. With an average rating of 3.76, which isn't bad, but I'm pretty surprised. Not gonna lie, I'm surprised. We Spread is a new release, I think, because it's got a lot of buzz. It's everywhere. I did not know this was a horror. I genuinely thought this was like nonfiction or something. So that's interesting. The Hacienda, I really want to read so bad. It's often compared to Mexican Gothic, so I definitely want to check it out. The Children on the Hill, I have read, and I really liked it. I really liked it a lot. I also really enjoyed What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher. This is like an amazing horror novella. There we go. Hidden Pictures, I've heard really good things about, but also I've seen like a pretty bad review about some not good things, so I don't think it'll win, that's for sure. Just Like Mother is a cult book that I wanted to pick up. I've seen a lot of people read this and review it pretty well. Manhunt, I'm surprised. This was on Kayla's anticipated releases, where she kind of talks about things on her radar and gives covers to things when they come out. I don't think I've seen anybody read this. I don't think a single person has read this book that I follow, which is surprising. Small Angels, I also have heard absolutely zero reviews from, but I did pick it up with Book of the Month. I haven't actually read it yet. I think it'll pair well with Small Favors by Erin A. Craig, though. Our Wives Under the Sea, I want to read so bad, but I can't get the audiobook anywhere, so I have to buy the physical book, but I'm just like, I don't have like a reason to read it. Like there's no video for it, so I just have to read it, but I'm like really busy with end of the year stuff, so I want to read it so bad though. I didn't know that Stephen King came out with a horror this year. Gwendy's Final Task, yeah, I have not heard of this once, but it's Stephen King, so you know people will vote for it. And The Devil Takes You Home by Gabino Iglesias. I'm surprised because I know one person that read this and highly recommended it to me, and I did buy it because of her, so I know someone has read it, but I am surprised that it is on here. Again, I feel like a lot of horror came out this year. Nothing in particular comes to mind of like big horror, but none of these like have been high on my radar, high on bookstagrams that I follow that primarily read horror. Like, these aren't big ticket names. I don't know. It's interesting. But I do think I'm going to hold off on voting for these until I've read more of them, because I do have plans to read some very soon. Humor, I'm not going to really talk about because I don't like that. I don't like that cover. I'm not going to talk about because I don't read humor. I don't really care. Nonfiction is the same. I don't read nonfiction. This one I've heard about why you can't pay attention and how to think deeply again. Think in the times of TikTok. That's going to be pretty popular. But yeah, I think that's the only one I've heard of. Memoirs and autobiography, I will vote. I'm glad my mom died because I have no interest in any others because I don't like memoirs typically. Although I have heard We Were Dreamers is like fantastic. I know that Eliza really liked it and so did Jan. So that'll probably get some good votes. History and biographies, nope. Comics and graphic novels, I can maybe participate here. I like those. Lore Olympus, Volume 2. I'm partway through. I think I'm a fourth or a third of the way through. I think that Demon in the Wood is going to get a lot of votes because it is Leigh Bardugo. People that don't read graphic novels are still going to vote for her. I haven't heard of these other ones. I've seen Wash Day Diaries on Scribd and I've had it saved. This is Saga Volume 10. After a long hiatus, it's back, so people are going crazy. Ooh, Heartstopper Volume 4. I know that I'm biased, but like, I can't help it. This looks interesting though. Killing Stalking. Interesting. I also like this Little Chef's Kiss. That looks cute too. Squire, that looks familiar. Is that part of a series? Anyway. A lot of these covers look so good. Crumbs, I also really want to read. I did not realize that came out this year, but I think that one looks so freaking cute. Okay, poetry. I have not read poetry once this year. No, I read one poetry this year, and I did not like it. So, interesting. Debut novel. Okay, here's exciting stuff. Maybe I read some of these. So far, it does not look like it. Okay, great. Our Wives Under the Sea, The Hacienda, Keikai, Daughter of the Moon Goddess. That really surprises me. The sequel has already come out. Like, the sequel, or it's coming out early next year. I think arcs are coming out. So it's interesting that that's a debut because it just feels like such an established book already. Lessons in Chemistry, The Maid, Thistlefoot, Jackal. Oh, Flicker in the Dark. That also feels like a very established book. Black Cake, How High We Go in the Dark, Cleopatra and Frankenstein. As you know, a lot of these were on previous lists, to no surprise. All right, best in young adult fiction. I love young adult. I'm not gonna lie. I read a lot of it, but so far, it doesn't look good for me. Anatomy, a love story, high on my list. Almost bought it once at Barnes & Noble, decided against it because I was like, you don't need it right now. High on my list. Loveless by Alice Oseman, you know, is going to get a lot of votes because that is just a very well-loved author. Nothing More to Tell was on my highly anticipated reads. I have yet to pick it up, as you can tell, but I'm interested to see how it does. I didn't realize that it was like, I guess young adults always like in its own little section. As Long as the Lemons Grow on Tree. I did not know that this was young adult. I thought it was adult because it was book of the month. I think it's like historical fiction or literary or something. Thought it was adult. You know, The First to Die at the End is going to get so many votes because the first book in this series that's not a series was so well received, so well loved that they both die at the end. See You Yesterday, I want to read. I don't really care about romance, but if you tell me that there's any type of Groundhog's Day-esque trope, I'm here for it. All My Rage by Sabaa Tahir. I have heard incredible things about. I haven't read it, but I've heard fantastic things. Same with A Lesbian's Guide to Catholic College. I've heard great things about. Everyone seems to love it. The Weight of Blood by Tiffany D. Jackson. I'm just gonna say it. Listen to the audiobook. So freaking good. Ophelia After All. I know Kayla talked about it, and that's the only reason why I was like aware of its existence. Haven't heard any reviews besides Kayla's. Hell Followed With Us. I don't know a lot about this, but I just love that cover. It looks so cool. Casey McQuiston, Shara Wheeler, has had bad reviews, and I have no interest in reading it, but it's got good ratings on Goodreads, and it's a big ticket name, so it's gonna get some good votes, and you know it. She Gets the Girl. You'll Be the Death of Me. This looks... Are these the same book? It's the same author. That's interesting that the same author has been nominated for the same category twice for two different books that are not published in the same year. I don't like that. And The Final Gambit by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is the finale to the Inheritance games. So I won't be surprised if that gets a lot of votes as well. I'm voting Tiffany G. Jackson, The Weight of Blood, because it was absolutely fantastic. Absolutely, hands down, the best audiobook I've listened to. Let's go to young adult fantasy and sci-fi. Cursed by Marissa Meyer is going to get so many votes because big name. Brandon Sanderson is forever going to sweep the competition. Big name. All That's Left in the World I've never heard of. Looks very sci-fi. Violet Made of Thorns. I got this from a Fairy Loot and an Owl Crate, and I believe it's a Romeo and Juliet kind of retelling. Gallant v. Schwab, many votes. Loved name. Hotel Magnifique, I have yet to read. I've heard not great things, which really worries me because it's like very high at the list of things that I'm going to read this year. Quite anticipated, and I haven't heard good things, so interesting that it's here. It's only had less than 10,000 reviews, so I feel like for YA fantasy, that's not a lot of reviews. The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea by Axio. I really enjoyed this. It's a very Spirited Away, whimsical fantasy. I had a lot of fun with it. So yeah, I definitely see that doing well. So This Is Ever After. I really want to read this and their other book. I don't remember what it's called, but it's about like pirates. Something about the covers just really does a lot for me. Only a Monster. Wasn't a fan. I didn't really like it very much. I'm just not a big time travel girly. Yeah. The Ballad of Never After. No surprise. I haven't read it, but it's Stephanie Garber, as well as Belladonna, while we're here. I already knew they were going to be here. I haven't heard great things about Belladonna, though, so I'm hoping to love it still. This Woven Kingdom I've seen around a lot. It's highly anticipated for me. Same as the Sunbear Trials by Aiden Thomas. I want to read this so bad. So bad. You don't understand. Sequel to These Hollow Vows. New Chloe Gong. It's like a companion sort of to These Violent Delights and Our Violent Ends. Like, you should read that duology before this, so that's why I haven't picked it up. Bloodmark is the sequel to Legendborn. There's a lot of secrets. The Dragon's Promise is the sequel to Six Crimson Cranes. Feared Kingdom is the third book in the Kingdom of the Wicked series. A Magic Steeped in Poison. I really want to read this one. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews, lots of good, lots of bad, but it looks so pretty. I love the concept of like tea makers being fantasy tea makers. Anyway. And I have not heard of If You Could See the Sun. Would I vote for any of these? No, because I haven't read any but The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea, and Only a Monster. And I don't think they're win-worthy. But, you know, Brandon Sanderson's going to sweep the competition. If not, Carrie Maniscalco will, because well-loved. Best in Middle Grade and Children's. I have not read much of these. Amari is going to win. I have no doubts. In the Witchlings, because they did a really big PR stunt for, like, a good PR, like maybe stunt was the wrong word. They did PR for their book and sent a big box to a lot of booktubers. So I think that'll also get votes for that, because that just brought a lot of attention. But I have not heard of these other ones. So that's it. I have a lot of books to read so that I can more accurately vote and feel that I've contributed better. And that's why I didn't make this a whole video, because, like, what do I really have to say besides, like, oh yeah, I've heard of it, I haven't read it. But yeah, when does voting end? Round ends in 11 days. So let's see what I read in the next 11 days. And maybe in my vlog next week, we can discuss about any additional things that I voted for. Great. That sounds great. As for reading, I will check in with you guys a bit later this afternoon. I have some things to film, some things to edit, lots of YouTube work to do this Wednesday, and I have a lot of reading to do as well. So I will check in with you guys once I actually, like, get the time to crack open a book. It is a while later. But I was hoping for this video, before I end it and close it out today, I was going to read my library book that I just got, seeing as it made sense that I went to the library first time in this vlog. Check this out. Thought it'd be fun to read because it's, like, kind of small. So this was the plan. I had full intent on reading this with you guys tonight, but I just got a package. I have the Heartstopper yearbook in my hands now, so there goes all of my reading plans. I'm going to read this. I'm so happy. Oh my god. They're all so cute. There's a contents page. Oh my gosh. Ah! Oh my goodness. I appreciate this so much. How, like, Alice themselves put in, like, their own little yearbook page to tell us their name, their birthday, their occupation, their pronouns, which are she, they, by the way. Likes Digimon and Italian food, and she doesn't like horror. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm more than likely going to cry at some point during this. So I will check in with y'all later. I'd probably close out this video and talk about my thoughts while I'm a sobbing mess. Bye. I'm having a great time. There's a quiz. Let's take it. Are you more Nick or more Charlie? I think I know the answer, solely based on mental health issues, but let's give it a shot, shall we? Question 1. What's your favorite season? A. Winter. It's full of snow days spent wrapped in woolly clothes. Or summer, the perfect season for the beach. Probably the winter. What skills would you rather have? Play the drums like a rock star or bake the perfect cheesecake? Honestly, like, I wish I could play drums. I know I can't. I'm not musically inclined like that. So I guess cheesecake. What's your favorite fashion accessory? A snuggly oversized sweater that you've borrowed from your partner, or patterned socks, especially if they have dogs on them? Oversized sweaters. Always. Even though they're not from my partner, just oversized sweaters. Question number 4. What school subject are you better at? Math, pie is a piece of cake, or languages? Well, I dropped out of Spanish my 4th year of high school because it wasn't for me. So I'm gonna go with math because I taught myself geometry. Question 5, what types of sports do you prefer? Solo sports like running, so you can be alone with your thoughts and listen to music. Team sports like rugby, so you can play with your friends. Honestly, I hate playing sports, but I did play team sports, so B. Question 6, what posters do you have on your bedroom walls? A, your favorite bands, B, your favorite films. I had a Taylor Lautner Twilight poster, and that's it, so I guess favorite films. Question 7, would you describe yourself as an introvert or an extrovert? Introverted all the way. 8, would you rather spend your days indoors or outside? Inside, curled up with a good book. Question 9, you're in Paris. What are you most excited to do in the city of love? Visit the famous Shakespeare and Company bookshop, of course. Eat all the ice cream. Practice your French when you order. I don't know French. I'm bad at French. I'm gonna go with the Shakespeare and Company bookshop because I have a bookstagram and a booktube channel. I couldn't think of the words for a second. 10, what film would you rather watch? Moonlight or The Avengers? Neither. I love question 16. Who's your celebrity crush? A, Henry Maddox, B, Zooey Deschanel. I don't know who Henry Maddox is. Should I? Henry Maddox. An actor that I've never seen before in my entire life. What a strange person to choose. I guess Zooey Deschanel. Question 17. Fountain pen or keyboard? Typing for sure. Okay. I'm so sorry, Alice. I'm very offended. Question 18, and finally, the most important question of all. Are you a cat person or a dog person? A, a dog person. I can't wait. You can't wait to get your own puppy. B, a cat person. ... Nah. Just kidding. It's dogs every day of the week for you. Me and my 3 cats are rather offended. But yeah, I'm gonna say that I was mostly A's. I didn't go over all the questions. You'll have to get your own book and take your own quiz to find out. But I would say that I honestly have the personality of Nick, but the mental issues of Charlie. So that's fun. Okay, I'm gonna keep reading. Bye. I did it. I read it. I'm literally in the middle of like editing this vlog that you are watching right now, and I just stopped so that I could just binge read this. It's beautiful. It's perfect. It's amazing. I loved it. I really like the behind the scenes, like Alice Oseman herself explaining the art behind it, the concepts behind it, the characters. Like it gives them so much depth and lively, like especially with the TV show being out, like there is so much personality going on. Every character is so thought through. It's wonderful. I like that you can see my favorite is absolutely the alternate universe pictures, especially the Regency era Camelot-esque photos. Like they're just everything to me. Like I love it so much. So yeah, I'm very happy. Obviously this is the 5-star book. It's everything. It's so well done. It's so well done. The production that went into this, like hardback, in color, the pages feel great. Like yeah, some thick pages. Like this is just wonderful. I'm so happy I had this. But yeah, now that it is 6 o'clock and I need to still make dinner and finish editing like 4 videos so I can be a little bit ahead of schedule, I'm gonna close out this vlog here. I'm gonna end this here. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was kind of a weird vlog. It wasn't really much of a vlog at all, but because it was Austin's birthday week, I've kind of just been spending time with him. Also, like, work is a little chaotic right now this week, and so I kind of just like need to decompress at night instead of reading and vlogging, but I'm hoping that will be over soon. I will be starting my next vlog because I have like so many books that I plan to read specifically for the vlog. I'm so freaking excited about it. So yeah, that's where I'm gonna leave you guys tonight. I hope that you've had a good day. I hope that you're gonna wind down tonight and have just like a good day, you know? I wish you the best of days. I'm gonna go. Give this video a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you want to see more weekly vlogs from me. I also do other bookish content. And yeah, that's gonna be it. I will see you guys all technically tomorrow, because I'm like really behind on my schedule. Yeah, tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow I have a big announcement tomorrow. So yeah, stay tuned. I have like a really exciting announcement going up tomorrow. So yeah. Cool. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.